Williamson, like Megan said, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about DSD. DSD has been in business for over 42 years. We're supporting almost 10,000 customers nationwide. Have a huge custom platform that we work with, as well as we have offices in almost 50 states and Canada. Some of the things that I think we're really proud of, our CEO is part of the business advisory group of Acumatica. And why is that important? We have access, they meet on a quarterly basis with the executive team of Acumatica. Some additional things with regards to DSD and Acumatica. We've been back-to-back President's Circle Award winners, and we are an Acumatica Gold certified partner. And why is that important? Each one of our consultants, as new additions come out, they have to recertify on that product. So gone are the days from the legacy products where somebody learned their product 10 years ago and they never went back to learn about what the new enhancements were. So they require us to pretty much stay current with the product so we can implement the best solutions for our clients. And then also we have 3 members in the organization that have been recognized from Acumatica as MVP award winners. So I'm going to get in a little bit about as far as for food and beverage, the supply chain industry today. You know, we're seeing a lot of global supply chain rapid growth. And by that, I mean, so many companies are looking at, do I use 3PLs for distribution? You got Amazon place where you got to, send that product out that day or the next day. I've seen a lot of my manufacturers start using co-manufacturers. I've got some clients that they're a virtual office and all they do is they have their formula, their recipe, they do the marketing, and they don't touch any of the product. So it's really been a total shift in the industry today. We're seeing customers that, they want transparency. Traceability is critical, and nutrition. Compliance are continuing to evolve more and more. I know I work a lot in the pet food industry as well, and we're seeing a lot of the compliance move over to our for our four-legged children, if you will. So, but we've got pressures of keeping costs down and continuing to innovate. Some of the challenges that we're facing with systems, we've got a lot of disconnected systems. I'm seeing a lot of people that, they've been on their system for 10 years, 20 years, a lot of manual data entry, a lot of Excel. A lot of people are tracking quality in Excel, limited visibility as far as, real-time inventory. Do you have enough to make it? And it's just as important, do you have enough inventory to pack it out? So we've got those things that we've got to look at as far as your process, as far as processors are facing. Compliance, again, making sure that we're auditing and we've got real time as far as consumptions. And then collaboration of being able to have multiple people look at a problem at the same time. Why does a modern ERP system matter? We're really looking at a single source of the truth, a single source where everybody can go and look, from accounting to operations to the plant managers to the CEO, to be able to say, where am I at any given time? Everybody needs more analytics. We've got AI coming into the mix, but everybody wants to see real time, where am I now? Where am I at the end of the day? Streamlining the processes, a lot of automation. We're starting to see where, once that product hits the door, the invoices just automatically get sent out to the customer. So as far as reducing the manual work, I'm seeing a lot of clients, they're having to do more with less people. So faster innovations and stronger compliance as well. So as far as some things, Acumatica actually, there's discrete and there's process manufacturing. We have a process manufacturing suite that's specifically for the food and beverage industry. It's formula-based, it's recipe-based. We understand units of measure conversion. We understand doing batches as far as you've got multiple products, that you're putting into different sizes, but you want to do that super batch and then have your yield and then finally have your pack out. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my inventory optimizations to be able to turn my inventory as many times as possible. Because, I always tell people the money's either in the bank or the back. So you've got to make sure that you've got strong inventory optimization, as well as, we're seeing everybody move to the cloud for security. We've got a lot of virtual businesses now that, the gone are the day of the brick and mortar, but we've got people working all over, and then you've got people on the road for the capability of that. Some of the core capabilities we talked about as far as inventory, your substitutions in your recipes, keeping up with your nutritional value, making sure that your batch is consistent the way it needs to be. The ingredients that you're sourcing to ship for complete, to be able to complete everything. Quality, having quality testing throughout the process, and actually being able to create the checklist of your checklist of I've received something in, and do I have a C of A? Do I need to do a sampling? Am I doing sampling on the line? Am I having to do a sample at the end of it? And how long do I have to hold that sample? So a lot of the QA, it's already built into the product, as well as like I mentioned before, your packaging management. You can make it, but if you don't have the right box to ship it out, it doesn't matter. Everybody's talking AI as far as your real-time visibility. To have AI built into the product to be able to help you make good business decisions, and to basically allow you to look at anomalies in the system to ensure that somebody, is my profit margin off on this, and to be able to bring those anomalies to your attention, as opposed to looking at it after the fact, after it's gone out the door, after you close your books. So really looking in the out the front windshield as opposed to looking in the rearview mirror as far as how things happen. And with that, I'm going to pretty much turn it over to Mo, and we're going to get into more of the supply chain reality. Mo?
Thank you, Cherry. Appreciate that. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are. Appreciate the time given us today. But a really good foundation Cherry laid for us in terms of the upgrading or updating our tech stack and the vital and the importance of having a single source of truth, which is Acumatica as your system of record. But I want to take a step back and really lay a foundation more on a granular level from the lens of, hey, if you are in purchasing, and maybe will resonate with you because you're saying we're often switching between different systems to manage POs. Or if you're in finance, your purchasing team sent that one PO, but you received several shipments against that PO and subsequently several invoices. And reconciling that, it's really time consuming, it's error prone. And if you're in supply chain or operation or sales or warehouse management, everybody really have their own unique pain point that on the screen here. I'm not going to go through all that, but if you are one of those in these disciplines and this resonate with you and you think is like, okay, this is really hard, this is speaking to me, let's take a step further. Cherry, if you want to go to the next slide, please. I'm a visual person, and I just want to really lay the foundation of where things at, how things are evolving, and as a business, what do you have to keep up with, between your suppliers, your co-man, your co-packers, your 3PLs, your trucking companies. You're selling into your own store, online store. You're selling, if you have a brick and mortar store, you're selling there. You're selling to the big retailers. How do we make all these communicate together effectively, and how everything really yield into a streamlined supply chain? Next slide, please. Sure. It really all starts with the right data, the exchange of right data. And what I mean by is, let's say you bring a new food item or a new product that your team worked on, and now it's time to start getting that out there in the world and different sales channels that your business operates. It all starts with getting item data, the attributes, weight and DIMS, everything those buying organizations are requiring you to be able to receive that first order. So you can ship it, be able to track it. Then we're going to touch a little bit on FSMA, or Foods Safety and Traceability Act, that it's being pushed by the FDA. and how you be able to track that batch, lot, expiration. Now, some companies are even thinking of uh, really country of origin. And as a consumer, really, our expectation have really shifted since the pandemic over the past 5 or 6 years. I'm personally guilty of that. Our Amazon delivery guy we consider him as part of extended family, as we're getting often products. And I'm pretty sure you in the audience, if you're sitting here, is like, yes, when I order things, I want it to arrive in the same day or the next day. So how do we really manage that expectation, getting the right product at the right place in the right time, if our data is not in sync? So if you want to go to the next slide. Historically, what we've done in response to that, the first thing comes to mind is we're adding headcounts. We're investing in new piece of technology. We're adding process improvement. We're adding OMS, WMS, all these systems. Again, to Cherry's point, when we are on a legacy system, siloed business units, data is not in sync, and is not in sync with your customer, not sync with your internal divisions or with your suppliers. And that's really the challenge. So in really manufacturing reality today, what differentiates most of us versus the leader in our space? What's our competitors who are excelling and managing to take advantage of supply chain complexities, managing all the evolving in consumer behaviors and expectations? These are some of the pain points that we've identified between both groups, from EDI being something reactive as part of supply chain, disconnected manual processes like we discussed, versus the people that leading in the space where supply chain is a real strategic advantage. They are proactive in monitoring and managing across the supply chain. And really EDI as EDI ERP catalyst, it's an extension of your single source of truth. It's extension of your Acumatica environment. So how we do that? So SPS Commerce, publicly traded company based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've been world retail network and supply chain over the past couple of decades, with over 1 million connection with global offices, with a proven process and technology where we helped over 4,000 buying organizations really take advantage of the supply chain and use it as a differentiator, as a real competitive advantage compared to their partners. Now, if we take it on the next slide, Cherry, please. If we look at the partnership with DSD and with Acumatica, we've done hundreds of these projects. We are the EDI provider for Acumatica, natively built from the ground up. So you're not like, oh, great, I'm using a new ERP, but I still have to manage EDI outside. No, those days are gone. You manage your entire supply chain right from within the four walls of Acumatica. Your team need to learn one system, and supply chain becomes an integral part of that. And to Cherry's point, where she mentioned AI and anomaly detection, and how everybody is really using that to excel to the next phase, AI is as good as data you're feeding it. And yes, we're talking about the single source of truth. And when you couple that with AI, is really having that supply chain, your POs, your invoices, your ASNs, all that, whether it's on your customer, on your shipper or 3PL or co-packers, co-man, that you're managing all that data lives and breathes inside Acumatica. That's how AI really start generating more valuable insights, actionable insight that can help your business move to the next step. So why companies call us? Why companies reach out to Cherry, reach out to myself, and we really need to evaluate our tech stack. A really new and evolving business, compliances, changing needs, new suppliers, team members, we're adding headcounts, strategic initiatives, FISMA requirements that the government's pushing, or simply, you're an outdated system that your team built 20, 25 years ago and the team loves it, but there's no more support, or that consultant that's been doing all the work for you guys, it's time for that person to retire. And now we're looking at something more scalable. So how we think of supply chain here at SPS with Acumatica, at its core, really helping you get sync with your suppliers and key partners, include your procurement process. But how do we really do that? Enabling better data exchange between you and your supplier to power business process. And we focus on helping you enable that data exchange. But this really requires making changes on how you work with the new and existing suppliers today, which is where SPS brings proven methodology of white glove onboarding and enablement services that we will partner with you on, while offering sophisticated monitoring and measurement capabilities for you to gain better handle on supply chain performance. But it doesn't stop there, really. It's more of a cycle, rinse and repeat. It's not set it and forget about it. As we said, geopolitical or a ship that got stuck in Suez Canal and how we are being reactive to that. It's really that constant evolvement of that data exchange. So again, I'm a visual person. We're thinking of putting it all together. Acumatica is your single source of truth, and SPS, your supply chain gateway to the world, single connection into your ERP, where we manage the communication with your customers, with your suppliers or vendors, and with your shippers. And constant data exchange and one system of record. And here's the exciting part. Why you're here today, you're looking to improve, you're looking to add, maybe making some changes. And what we're bringing to the table, an exciting offer in collaboration with Acumatica and DSD, why we are a natural fit. That end-to-end supply chain coverage, DSD with their vast and depth consulting experience and over 3 decades of experience in deploying ERP systems. And on top of that, a compelling offer on 50% off on SPS services and first 3 months free. Next slide, please. So again, to wrap it up, in terms of supply chain value, we understand it's an evolving spectrum. Things keep changing regardless where you at in that journey. SPS partnered with you and DSD to help solve off all your business needs and challenges throughout that journey. Now, let's take a moment to really chat about FISMA requirement. Tara, if you want to go to the next slide, please. So what's really happening? So the FDA enacted FISMA, or Food Safety and Modernization Act, aka FISMA 204. We know it was coming in January of this year. However, it got pushed back to 2028, 30-month delay. But we know it's coming, and it's coming fast, and I don't believe there will be any changes. So how that shift from focus on end-to-end traceability from case level to item level, country of origin, expiration, batch, and lot number. And is that really those buying organization or these customers that you are selling to today? They are not waiting for that deadline for them to start acting on it. It's actually, we're seeing it happening today as a lot of these buying organizations already partnering with SPS to help them with modernizing their supply chain, their tech stack, and adding to what they are. So we know systems are complex, plus vendor onboarding take times. And that's why I want you to think about that deadline what would it take? And I know some of you say, well, we already have ASN in place. I'm already using it. I already have labels. That's great. However, those buying organization, your customer, the way they are thinking about it today, it's more adding to it. And really, FSMA is not the ceiling. Matter of fact, they are considering it as a baseline. They are looking to improve what they are doing today. They are looking to really optimize inventory, waste reduction, faster recalls, and all that vital data they have looking to implement today. So now it's your time. If you're not thinking about it, or if you don't have a plan in place, I highly encourage you to really get with Sherry, with myself, to just start taking a assessment in your system, your business process today, and how we can collectively as a group have an actionable item in terms of what we want to do to not only meet FSMA requirement, but modernize our tech stacks and be ready for the next evolution. And with that, really, I think I covered that, Cherry. With that, really want to thank you, whether you're a manufacturing, supplier, co-man, co-packer, a 3PL retailers. We would love to have the opportunity to chat more. Back to you, Megan.
Awesome. Thank you, Mo, so much for the great presentation. We're going to go ahead and start our Q&A session right now. I just want to thank you all again for joining us, and this will just take a couple moments.